player agency. What does this mean? Well, I'll show you what it means to Larian Studios.
What's your advice for those who want to tell stories?
Respect choice. Because very often when we were making the situations for this, and what if I do this? And the reaction, and it's really to the credit of the team, is not, oh, no, we're going to block that off. No, how can we make it happen?
On the back of a very successful night at the Game Awards.
And the Game Award goes to Baldur's Gate 3!
Neil Newbon.
And the game of the year is Baldur's Gate 3.
Larian Studios has demonstrated what it means to build stories that are unique to each and every single player. The vastness of different choices you can make from your character, your story approach, your interactions with the environment and the characters within the game, BG3 has provided a high-value artwork capable of providing variety whilst respecting freedom. But why does choice matter to you, the player? Why do you enjoy having choice? In this video, I will follow up on my previous video which explored why Baldur's Gate 3 is so addictive, through showing you why this studio has successfully advocated for player agency. Hello there! In my previous video, where I explored the psychological factors as to why Baldur's Gate 3 is so addictive, I covered how Larian has created an immersive world through having good flow that rewards autonomy. In other words, player agency. But what is agency? Agency is defined as the ability to take action or to choose what action to take. So why does this matter? Well, according to psychological research, choice is a fundamental human need that is linked to autonomy, control, and well-being. When you have choices, you feel more motivated, engaged, and satisfied with your actions. You can also feel more responsible for your outcomes and more invested in your goals. Player agency in Baldur's Gate 3 is the main vehicle for driving this sense of immersion, attachment to your characters, and to your stories.
Scummy ball bag, move! I got to clean!
I feel like this is best demonstrated in the game, either very simply and also in very complex ways within Baldur's Gate 3. Everything from your character stats, choices, and even combat approach can be different and unique. Let's take a very basic example here. In this scene where Lae'zel's trapped in a cage quite early on within the game, you encounter 6 different choices. 2 of them are dialogue options that will progress into a further dialogue option that will leave you with 4 choices. Of course, with the choices that you have here, you have the possibility of failing the check and passing the check. You also have 2 other choices whether to leave and to attack the tieflings. If you leave Lae'zel here and don't choose to recruit her, you have 4 other possibilities of recruiting her later on within the game. Right, let's take a look at the deception and persuasion checks. With a successful deception check, you're allowed to recruit Lae'zel here or decline her from joining your camp. If you do pass the persuasion check to tell the tieflings to shoot down the trap, you are then presented with another couple of options, whether to kill the tieflings or side with Lae'zel. Of course, if you kill Lae'zel here, you prevent yourself from having her story arc in your game, leading to a lot of ramifications down the line. As you can see here, the level of freedom to approach the same section in different ways consistently brings you a sense of challenge, curiosity, and reward. Larian's emphasis on prioritizing choice allows you to express your preferences, personalities, and values through your actions, and to experience the effects of your actions on the game world and characters. Choice allows you to explore different possibilities, scenarios, and outcomes. Further, Larian's emphasis on providing alternatives in exploring failed checks creates a sense of variability in that the player will not always experience what they necessarily expect. And whilst this game is vastly huge and lands you firmly in the deep end with its sheer level of depth in the game mechanics, I feel like the inclusion of the Grove at the start of the game, after leaving the Nautiloid, allows players to fully bed themselves in the world of the Forgotten Realms. The Grove is a perfect example of how Larian has carefully built and showcased player agency through the presentation of immediate choices and consequences. And as the game progresses, the frequency and the gravitas of the choices that you make become bigger and bigger. This is the fundamental factor behind how Larian has managed to advocate player choice successfully. As you can see, Baldur's Gate 3 is a game that showcases Larian Studios' passion and dedication for making RPGs. But most importantly, it is a game that gives freedom and agency to its players, allowing them to create and shape their own experiences and stories within the game. It's a rarity to have a studio that demonstrates this level of passion and care for its game, and I for one find it refreshing to talk about the general positivity behind a game for once, and can only hope that other studios will follow. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.